18 of Kyle Busch. He has never won here in 7 prior starts. Look out! A spin, Mike Wallace, and he's up and over. Wallace gets back on all fours. The 38 of Leffler is also involved. The race is going to end under caution.
See a lot of people with run. You can see Mike Wallace having a big run here, getting a push from Elliott Sadler. That's where it's all going to start, as he tried to make a move.
Boy, and then he gets airborne.
The caution does not come out right away here. It goes just a little bit longer before it does come out.
Yeah, the 18 was in front at that moment.
Oh, goodness. 6 gets, it's like, oh, my gosh.
Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Like Boris said, got into the 6 car. David Reagan. Oh, my goodness.
Jeff's going to move him up out of the groove and get by him.
Whoa, Busch is around. Can he save it this time?
Oh, there you go.
He does. He saves it. But there's a
Jeff Gordon's upside down. Jeff Gordon's upside down.
And Kurt Busch's car is destroyed.
Oh, my gosh. You see Jeff down there. He just gets down on his left corner, and we've seen that time and time and time again.
You got to stay off the left side. What do we do about that, though, man? How do we fix it? The drivers just have to make the decision that they've got to lay off that left side.
Look at this long slide for Gordon. And that's Kurt Busch tangled up with him, and Jimmy Johnson. And that car still hasn't lost much of its momentum as it goes side over side and comes to rest
Michael
on
made
its roof.
A really good point, though, Mike. These cars are so much bigger than the cars were 5 years ago.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There was no way.
Oh, it's Kurt Busch Boyer's in it. Bobby Labonte's in it. Stremmy's in it. Jeff Gordon down to the grass.
Nothing else coming from behind you.
And Kurt Busch went over and over.
Yeah, and running out of time. I mean, he's, you know, desperate. And you see the 36 move down just a little bit. And Yaley and Stenhouse thought he could squeeze by on the next to the wall, and he just couldn't make it. And this kid's ugly. Watch this thing.
Right on top of Ryan Newman.
Hadn't Ryan Newman had cars on top of him before here?
I think the 2009 race.
I think you're right.
Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards coming to the checkered flag.
Johnny Sauter, he won at Daytona earlier this year. Can he do it again? They wreck behind him. They're rolling behind him. Now the 88 spins. Thor Sport is going to win. It's going to be Johnny Sauter that will get the win, but they wreck behind him.
That's Jeb in the black truck.
Being pushed by Miguel Paludo. He got pushed sideways into Kyle Busch.
That sends Busch sideways. Dakota Armstrong in the 60 was able to stay clear up high.
Watch Paludo flip over when Kyle gets on the right rear of his truck.
See David Starr go by. Chris Fontaine going by. Justin Lofton in the 6 truck. There's Clay Greenfield in the 68. John West Townley in the 7 going by on the inside.
Start-finish line. Logano comes down into Paul Menard. One car gets up on top of a group and goes flipping over and over. And the 30 lands on its roof. That's Parker Kligerman.
Cole Witt's teammate that just wrecked in that first caution. Actually, Matt Kenseth in the 20 looks like he kicked up into Joey Logano in the 22 that turned him sideways.
Trevor Bayne, the 21, looked to me, Larry, like he was going to bump draft. Got him going. A lot of different looks here.
Unless this 41 car, Kurt Busch, can get some kind of big move here off turn 4 like Kevin did. Oh, and there
Shots
they go.
into the wall
They
with
wrecked.
the one of McMurray. 3, 4 cars around. One on its roof. One car hard into the wall.
That was a...
And it ends in flames and sparks.
Menard had a fast car all day long, and here comes McMurray, and he just gets a little bit of piece of that 48. A lot like happened in the Unlimited. Looked like Jimmy's car just got loose and spun.
Look at Clint Boyer in that 15 car get up in the air.
Thing went all, it did a 360.
Outside lane hanging tough here on the restart.
Oh, here we go.
Trouble. That's Casey Kane that goes sideways. Joey Logano nowhere to go.
Oh, my. Half the field is gone.
The big one at Daytona has happened at lap 97.
That is the huge one at Daytona.
Justin Allgaier.
Oh, the
Denny
18
Hamlin,
gets on its roof.
and Kyle Busch rolls upside down.
It looks like the 16 got into the 5 a little bit too hard and just turned him. And man, talk about getting piled up.
Watch the 3 car when we get another replay of Austin Dillon come shooting up through the middle and trying to avoid the accident.
26 of Cole Witt just got into the 18.
To today, the only place where big trouble. That's the rookie Suarez up and over Regan Smith, the big one at Daytona in the tri-oval.
Let's see if we can see what happens. Kyle Busch was pushing the rookie, giving him a shove here. Kyle Larson, excuse me. And it looks like he just gets him in a bad spot right there, and he just got behind in his steering.
Yeah, he got too far to the right, and coming off of the corner right there, that car unloads as you come off of that banking, and it just took just a little bit too much. And that's that window that you have to push. And if you get outside of the center of that back bumper, the way that the front and back bumpers are curved, it's going to spin that car out.
To the bottom of the track. Junior will win at Daytona. And the big one happens behind them.
So you can see him on the bottom. Rex starts in front. He runs in the back of the 24. Gets up on the 11. Now he's on top of the 50.5. Now it's just along for the ride. Watch the car stop. Watch the car stop. It gets into those poles, and it goes from, I don't know what, 180, 190 miles an hour, I'm just guessing, to a complete stop. That is unbelievable.
And it looks like that's 3,500 pounds. That stock car is extremely heavy. You see here, after he's upside down, the 2 is spinning. Obviously, he's already lost control, makes more contact with the 3.
The white flag is out.
They're going to crash.
Sauter with a big run. They're crashing. Christopher Bell upside down.
Very fortunate that these trucks are as safe as they are. Look at this truck just get out of control. Probably about the fastest part of this speedway, Phil, right out of the tri-oval.
It just starts tumbling.
That young man with his dirt racing background, I'm sure he's had many barrel rolls in his career, but none like that.
Loose early on in this race, but they did settle down much better.
Straight away. A big hit, and Jimmy Johnson goes spinning.
Upside down. Buscher. Oh, man.
Chris Buescher on his lid and lands back on his wheels. Caution. The 35 Gilliland above the 3. Now McMurray in the 1, the red car, comes up, just brushes Austin Dillon.
Turns him into the 35.
And Dillon gets into Gilliland. Joey Logano turned the 48. And Buescher goes for a big tumble. Oh boy, Stanley Steamer.
Whoa, there's
and around she goes into Kenseth.
Oh gosh.
Up in the air and into the wall hard.
Man, Kenseth. Man, I thought he was going to catch the catch fence back there. The way it landed was.
I am not believing that.
He's right in the middle, the fifth car back.
I think somebody makes contact with. McDowell got her in the left rear.
Yep.
Yeah. And then
no, she hit him in the right front. And when that happened, just got air underneath the car.
Is anybody left in this race?
Let's watch from the Goodyear aerial coverage, and you'll see several things happen here as Kenseth's car comes back down to earth.
You're middle of 3. Come on, 13. You got a guy coming to you. Not over. Keep digging.
They're crashing. Rhodes into Crafton.
Damn.
Crafton up and over.
And Kaz Grala looks to me like will win this race.
No surprise to me that exiting the corners when the trouble happened. It just was a very aggressive push.
Yeah, it looked like Grant Enfinger was trying to help. Ooh, look at Matt Crafton up and over.
There's Johnny Sauter up in the middle of the mess. Grant Enfinger was pushing right there when the track flattens out.
Yeah.
Around goes the 27, catches Crafton, who thought he was home free.
Exactly in that spot where you said you didn't want to be pushed, where the track changes a little bit of that elevation.
Spotter Eddie DeHunt just told him it's time to be greedy.
There he goes. There we go. Here we go. Oh, up
Upside down.
Side.
Well, AJ, that was a humdinger.
Yes, it was, and that's there he is upside down, and I hope he's all right. I see him moving around in there.
Here is the initial contact. You see Chase's car yacht out just a tiny bit in the corner.
They got him loose.
That's all it takes.
That's the one. He was going to save it till that last little bump.
I was just going to say, AJ, just be a little patient here. We got a little ways to go yet, and you got a pretty good car. Wow.
In a moment.
This is amazing footage, folks.
Incredible camera work.
Just remember, there's a driver in every one of those cars. Watch it.
Well, that's a long, slow roll for Allmendinger. And look, both those cars end up pretty much together along with the mess that was Logano's car.
Oh, Briscoe gets loose. Austin Wayne Self around. Heavy contact with the 99 of Peters, up and over.
There's the replay of the accident that brought out the final caution in the wild ride endured by Timothy Peters.
It looked like the 22 of Austin Wayself just got a little bit loose on exit of turn number 4. Got into Johnny Sauter. Watch him get loose on the bottom. Gets into Johnny a little bit. Turns him sideways. Ben Rhodes able to get by. Timothy commits to the bottom. Austin Wayne comes down there. Wild ride for Timothy.
He has a big run down.
Oh, we got one spinning.
And it's McMurray.
Man, that thing is flipping, rolling.
That car is junk.
You got that right.
Well,
I just hope he's
for a ride right
he
there.
had been incredibly fast. He got a huge run off turn 2, caught a pack of cars, made a quick move, and ended up in the fence.
Oh, no, he maybe cut a tire.
Something happened to that car. It just went around all by itself on the straightaway.
And see, what really sent that car over was when Newman hit him on the left side, it lifted the right side up and caught air.
Yeah.
And look at that car come apart against the fence.
It just disintegrates.
I mean, everything did its job of what it's designed to do. The fence kept the car on the racetrack. Car stayed intact.
Watch this car now. It's just gonna turn all by itself right there.
Oh, the left rear. The left rear tire.
Yeah. Right over the top of Newman's car.
Yeah. Newman and Ty Dillon both with a good bit of damage.
And Mike, the 2 fastest cars, the 1 and the 13, were both involved in that accident.
That's right.
Big run right there. You saw what he did. Oh, around goes the 60. Austin Cindric wrecking in front of the crowd. Daniel Hemrick's caught up. Tyler Reddick, Cindric, barrel rolls.
They enter the corner. It's up the racetrack a little bit. Matt Tiff's going to try to drive in there to get to his inside, and they just got together. 60 of Austin Cindric just wasn't on the very bottom of the racetrack. Opened up a little bit of hole that Matt Tiff you thought was there, and then you see right here the contact with Reddick. Started Cindric flipping. That's very unusual to see a car flip that late.
Here they come. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Ryan Preece. Logano on the outside.
Oh,
and Byron's around. He crashes. Caution is out.
Heavy impact to the inside wall by the 42 of Larson.
Man. Kyle Larson, Jeffrey Earnhardt with heavy damage to go to victory lane this year. What a hard tumble for Kyle Larson.
Oh, man. And that was after a really hard hit with that front nose to the inside wall.
It just won't stop.
This is coming off of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Oh, yeah, you can just see, it looks like the 38 goes up the racetrack, makes contact with the 24 Byron. And that sends Jeffrey Earnhardt and Kyle Larson. Look at the air get under the right rear of the 42.
Wow.
Heavy contact with that right front. Left front.
That safer barrier was there. Thank goodness for that.
But watch this thing. Once it starts flipping, it's like a feather. It just won't stop.
Another hood flap flies off. Oh, around goes the 18. The 42 collects the 17 as well. The 62 upside down. Brendan Gaughan upside down as he went back in front of the pack.
We're wrecked here, guys.
And the big one happens right at the front of the field.
So Kurt pushing Kyle. And just hooked him. And look at Brendan Gaughan. Just flipping right over. It's like the nose of that Chevrolet just can't quite push them straight. It just can't do it.
Yeah, the 17 goes up to side draft. I don't think that affects the 18. It's the one just pushing his brother. It peels the 18 off to the right. It looks a lot like the 24 accident. Look at the 62, a full flip back on its wheels. Thank goodness. Instantly stopped the flipping, put the car back in position. But a huge, huge accident.
Just got worse. Joey, you know that any vibration when you're in a pack like this, especially when you're a rookie. Oh, there it goes.
In the middle.
Oh, no. Lost away himself and upside down is the 45 of Majeski.
Let's hope he gets back on his tires here.
That thing's square on the roof. What a shame.
Yeah, and you know, bumping through the tri-oval here is the sketchiest place to do it. And you see that big set that you saw that white truck make right there. He needed room to save it. And you try to do everything you can to not run into other cars. You try to do everything you can to keep your truck going straight. And unfortunately, wrong place at the wrong time for Ty.
To the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside. Wow. Crash into the wall, into the air. Goes Newman.
Upside down.
In a shower of sparks on his roof. Ryan Newman comes across the line, fourth. And comes to rest. Blaney tried the top side, tried to get low. Ryan Newman goes around, and the car goes to its roof, and here's the on-rushing Corey LaJoie, picking it up and over.
Haley, not a great restart here as Ryan C gets off to a good start, and now they're 4 wide going into 1.
That's it.
Oh, and around goes the 7, hard into the outside
Hang on,
wall.
buddy, hang on, hang on.
On the apron, the 21 of Anthony Alfredo was into the wall hard. He's upside down, sliding through 1 and 2.
And normally you think you're going to get down here, you're going to slide up into the racetrack, but he just never had a chance to. Allgaier just kind of, I think, needed to give that spot up, get out of the throttle, but knowing there's a race win, if you can make it work, maybe ahead of you, just chose to stay in the gas.
And look at this car. It gets up on its side. It's sliding. You know, these cars have roof flaps that design them to stay on the ground when you see a high speed rollover at, say, a restrictor plate track. But here, that wasn't really an aerodynamic thing. The cars aren't going at top speed on this restart. That's just the force of this car hitting that outside wall, throws it up into the air, and then, Jeff, as we saw, it slides to a stop on its roof.